It is the earliest photograph ever of an American First Lady. Her name is Dolly Madison. And if you know your history, she is the wife of the fourth president of the United States, James Madison.
Yeah, so they're from like the, I guess, mid to late 1700s to the early 1800s. And this photograph, obviously, is from the latter part of her life.
Yeah, the way the picture is taken, it's clearly not an iPhone. I think it's an Android.
I think it's an Android.
I think it's an Android phone. It's one of those Samsung Galaxies that took it. I mean, to take photographs back then, this is 1846, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a chore just to go and get those big clunky things.
Oh, I know. And then you had to put the drape over the head. And
yeah.
You had to, I think somebody had to hold the light or you had to hold it. I mean, it was a whole process. And setting all the parameters for it. Oh, my goodness.
So someone bought it. I mean, I think, if I know the story correct, somebody was cleaning out somebody's home because a family member passed away.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they stumbled on this picture, and they're like, well, this looks old. Wait a minute. This looks like it could be one of the first ladies.
See, I wouldn't have seen that. I would have just said, oh, look at somebody's grandma.
True.
Unless it said Dolly Madison, then I would have been like, wait a minute.
Yes.
Is that the sweet treat lady or is that
Dolly Madison, sweet treat lady?
Yeah, doesn't she do desserts? Like there's a company, Dolly Madison?
I have no
Am I wrong?
idea.
I could be wrong.
I think she is.
Or is that
I haven't
picture?
heard.
Little
I've
Debbie.
heard of Little Debbie's, but
I think there's a
not
Dolly
the little
Madison.
Dolly. Oh my.
There is Dolly Madison cakes. It's known for the zingers, the raspberry coconut, the chocolate, vanilla ones. My uncle worked there for many years. So yes, you are correct. Dolly Madison cakes is a thing.
Okay, well, there you go. Zingers.
Can you play that little part at the end again?
What's that?
Where she says, you are right.
I grew up in California, and as a little girl, we used to eat Dolly Madison donuts. There was a product line like Hostess. I don't think they exist anymore. I think Hostess bought them up. But I used to eat Dolly Madison donuts as a youngster. They were good.
No wonder why I haven't heard of it.
Yeah,
because Hostess may have bought them up. But somebody earlier was talking about zingers.
Yeah, and I have seen the zingers. Aren't they like pink or something like that with coconut?
I'm colorblind. I could not
that's
tell
right.
you.
Sorry.
I could not tell you.
Sorry.
Here's an open mic that just came in as well through the My HISRadio app.
Yes, there is a real Little Debbie. She lives in Ottawa, Tennessee. She's actually in my cousin's Sunday school class. The Little Debbie home office is in Tennessee. And if I'm not mistaken, she's in her 90s, I think.
And, okay, wait a minute. So your cousin knows her, and in your cousin's Sunday school class, Little Debbie?
Guess who's bringing the snacks?
Right?
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I'm going to preface this by saying I wasn't a big fan of the Barbie movie at all. Like, I loved.
She wasn't.
I really wasn't.
She was so disappointed.
I was.
You should have seen her after investing how much time? 3.5 hours?
Oh, I think it was an hour and a half. It wasn't that long. Not
But
really.
it felt like it, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. But I am so happy that it brought back that color, that Barbie pink, because it's everywhere.
Yeah, obnoxiously everywhere.
Not obnoxiously.
Even though I'm colorblind, I know.
Affectionately is how I'll say it. Well, Barbie was something that I played all the time. I didn't play with baby dolls that much, but I played with Barbie dolls. Loved them. Well, now there is this celebration going on in England because Barbie's been around for 65 years. And so they actually have the London Design Museum that has like 200 and something different Barbie pieces. So they have over 100 different Barbies. You've got Olympic Barbies and skateboarding and doctor and astronaut and all these different kinds of Barbies. They represent every single race. They represent different body types, which I love that, and abilities. And so they're on display for a while.
In a museum.
In a museum, yeah.
That's interesting. When my daughter was 12, 14, I brought her to New York City for a work thing, and Toys R Us was there at the time, and it was the third floor, I believe, that was all dedicated to Barbie.
Oh, I missed that.
We must have spent 45 minutes on the third floor.
I bet you did. And that seems coming in kind of low. How much money, though?
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio, and I love what they're doing in Oklahoma.
I don't know if you heard, but there's been a mandate for the public schools, and it's requiring the public schools now to include Bibles in the classroom to teach its historical significance, which I think is wonderful because when they take a look at it, one of the people who were speaking about it said, listen, you know, with figures like the Federalist Papers and Martin Luther King Jr., this is a reason to support the Bible's influence that was on our country, especially for our forefathers. I just took this trip to Maine, and Amy, I, and Eli, this is our youngest still in the home, we were going off to my daughter's wedding in Maine, but we took our time, so we visited Plymouth Rock and Gettysburg. We went to Boston, and it was just filled rich with the Bible and references. Like, for instance, in Plymouth, where Plymouth Rock was, which that's a tiny rock, by the way. It's not as big as what I thought.
Oh, yeah, I've never been there. You would expect it to
I'll
be
show you a
huge.
picture of it, but it's kind of tiny. But anyway, there is the monument to our forefathers.
Mm-hmm.
And on the monument to the forefathers, there's Moses that's holding the Ten Commandments. The young lady on top of the statue, the monument, I should say, is holding a Bible. And one of the things that's said on the side of it says this, and this is from Governor William Bradford. I'm just going to read this, okay? It's really short. Thus, out of small beginnings, greater things have been produced by his hand, and all things that are made of nothing but gives being to all things that are. And as one small candle may light 1,000, so the light here kindled hath shone unto man, yea, in all some sort of things, whole nation, let the glorious name of Jehovah have all his praise. That's a part of our history.
Right. That's what this country was founded on.
Right?
Biblical principles. And unfortunately, we've gotten away from it. But Oklahoma is moving in the right direction.
Well, bringing the Bible in to study the Bible, that's a part of history.
Right. They said it helps us in so many different ways, from a moral standing to historical, helping us understand our legal system. I mean, it serves more than just finding out about God and Jesus. You know, it goes so many different areas of instruction. Why is it not in the Bible? And so they're going to have teachers actually instructing from the Bible.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I had no idea, but hippos can fly. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. Kind of an overstatement, because now what's circling around the feeds is that hippos can be airborne.
Not really. It'd be like saying we can be airborne on our own without getting on a plane. They do run very, very fast, especially considering their size.
And so, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Compared to the elephant and other creatures that can be big as this is a hippo, right? I was thinking rhinoceros. Rhinoceroses are big. I guess that's what I was trying to think of, too.
Somewhat similar.
But hippos, they do run at a pretty good trot, and they can be off the ground as they're running 0.03 seconds.
Yeah. So all four of their feet can be off the ground at the same time, and they're calling that
Airborne.
Yeah, well, then I can go airborne.
Right?
I mean, hello. But they are dangerous.
I think because hippos are as big as they are, this is a big thing to say that they can get airborne.
They got hops.
Yeah, well, hops. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But they'll have pictures, and you'll notice that the pictures, when they're still, all four of their feet, legs, whatever you call them, are off the ground.
But like the front foot, is off the ground 2 inches or something.
It's getting ready to hit.
Yeah, it's getting ready to come
take
down.
another trot.
Now that back leg, he got some hops back there. Mm-hmm. He's like, woohoo, like half a foot. Woohoo, I'm airborne.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Ninja is going to have to learn this. Our own Ninja gave birth to she and Dusty's little baby boy,
That's
Oliver.
one of our producers here at His Radio.
Yeah, over the weekend. And so she's going to learn really quickly that doing certain things that we kind of take for granted when we don't have little babies.
Like what?
Like getting our nails done. If she wants to go in and get a manicure and you've got a newborn or a toddler, it takes a special skill set to be able to do both. And especially if they're painting your nails and then the baby wants to be held or starts crying or needs to be fed. So there was a woman that went in and had a baby. She went in to get her nails done and probably having one of those days where I just needed to be pampered just for a half a minute. And the baby started crying and started acting up, and she didn't know how she was going to get through the rest of the manicure. So the owner of the nail salon jumped right into action, continued to do her job, but held the baby, rocked the baby.
Oh, good for her.
I know. And the baby immediately stopped crying, got attention.
She has the touch.
Yes, and Mom was able to just have that moment, which is so important for moms and dads if they're staying at home or if they, just have a newborn or a toddler, just to have that moment to breathe. And that she jumped in without any question.
The salon owner.
Yes, didn't expect to be paid or anything. Like, she just did it.
She's kind of getting paid.
Well, she is.
Because this mom is a customer.
Right, but she was already there. But she did probably endear the woman to come back and spend her money there from now on because she showed good customer service.
Which is great.
But I think it was more than that. I think it was just, this mom needs a minute. So I'm going to help her out in this situation.
And she got her a minute. This is through the My HISRadio app.
I'll say as a dad of a toddler and almost 3-month-old, biggest piece of advice I can give for new parents is communication, helping each other out. If she's at 50% that day, cover the other 54. Especially if you're at 100%, give each other time to take breathers. Definitely don't just rely on one parent to do everything, and you kind of do the bare minimum. Definitely help each other out and work it out.
You're going to need to do that.
If
there's two parents in the house, absolutely.
Well, and if you don't, somebody's going to have resentment, which we shouldn't have, but it just naturally happens. Like, why aren't you helping me? It's a 2-person job here, so step up.
When there's a single parent in the home, talk about superhero, because they're doing it all themselves. Liz knows that well.
Yeah, I was a single mom for 7 years.
So is Amy.
Yeah, and it's sort of like you are in control of a lot of things. So if you say it, that's it. You don't have to negotiate or compromise with anybody. So that was something to learn when I got married. But at the same time, every bill, every sickness is on your shoulders. And
you have to be the one that leaves work.
Every time.
It's talk about superheroes, the single parent.
Right. Hats off
is
to you
something
for sure,
else.
yeah.
And if there's the luxury of having 2 parents in the home, oh my word, to help each other out. The hardest thing is after a long day of work and then coming home and then you have to pick up where the other's like, here, I gotta go.
Well,
I'm out.
Just a minute. Like sometimes, moms or dads will escape. I got to go to the bathroom. And then 45 minutes later, they come out. But they've been in there just crying or scrolling or just catching their breath.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I love just creative minds and how they can look at just the simplest things and come up with something incredible.
Like David Aguilar. He loves Legos. It's been building Legos since he was a kid. The thing about David is that he has one arm that is missing. And so he decided as an inventor that he was going to make an arm out of his Legos. And literally, he made a prosthetic that works out of his Legos. He called his first one MK1. Now he's at MK3. I mean, he's really worked at this thing, and it works. He literally can pick up things with his prosthetic Lego arm, and he's gained worldwide attention now because of what he can do with Legos and create with Legos with one arm. And now he has 2 arms because he made a prosthetic out of a Lego that works for him on his, I think it's his right arm.
That is incredible. And think about the cost, the savings. Now, Legos are expensive, but not as expensive as a prosthetic.
Right.
So he's found a less expensive way to make this possible. And wow, this kid's mind.
I know,
Incredible,
right?
yeah.
And so now he uses this whole experience to promote STEM education and encouraging young inventors to do the same, to take what you have and make incredible creations out of it. And now he has a prosthetic Lego arm. It's the coolest thing.
I was going to say, it's about the coolest one I've ever seen.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
P.U.
Well, thank you.
No,
what in the world?
Not Liz. P.U., you probably know what pew is, not the one that you sit in church. But the two letters you use, PU, when something really smells,
Yeah.
it's really stinky. And some people think, oh, the initials stand for something, P and U. No, it's actually the real word, believe it or not, because it comes from something that's Latin, pitiri, which is to stink. And so I didn't say it right. But anyway,
I don't know.
it means to stink, which is where we get PU from. And so it's actually a word.
And like you might say, oh, that smells putrid. So it could come from that as well. But they started using PU like in the 17th century. So it's been around for a hot minute.
Yeah, because things stink, throughout time.
Oh, I bet they stunk back then.
Yeah,
they didn't shower every day.
Woo.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Let's imagine that you are in a wedding and then you get an invite for the bridal shower. And you go to RSVP, and when you do, then it takes you to a cart and a checkout because they want you to pay for your RSVP for your spot at the bridal shower.
What is it, like $25 or something?
$300.
What?
$300 for a bridal shower. This actually happened. A lot of chatter, of course, about it on social, but this bridesmaid is like, look, I've already paid for the dress. I've paid for gifts. I'm paying to travel. I got to pay for a hotel to stay because it's not where I live. And now I got to pay $300 to attend a bridal shower. I've never heard of such a thing in my life.
Why do you think?
Well,
what was the reason?
So evidently they chose a place that's a little bougie, and so they need some help paying for it. And the bride's sort of like, look, we have all of these expenses, and well, you don't have to have those expenses. I mean, you can have a bridal shower at your house, in your apartment. And yes, there is some cost, but not like that. It may not be what you envision, but if you can't afford it, if it's me, if I can't afford it, I'm not going to ask somebody else to foot the bill for it.
I wonder how big her wedding party is. A bridal shower is just for those in the wedding, right?
No. A bridal shower can be for anybody, friends, family. They bring gifts. They give you gift cards for the honeymoon, that kind of thing. Now, if you have a bridal luncheon or a brunch, typically that's just for the wedding party.
So the bridal shower.
Yeah.
All the guests. So she could have invited 25 people, and they all have to ante up $300 plus a gift?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if this is the way things are going, my RSVP will be no.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Rob and Lizz in the morning. This is his radio. So what do you do not to spend too much money? I mean, the price of things seem to have gotten really high, especially this summer. At least gas prices have come down a tad.
You must not have passed a gas station this morning.
Well, I didn't pay attention, so forget that comment.
I know they went up.
Again after the 4th of July. But there's a lot of people that save money doing different things. I don't know how you do it. Love to hear it on the My His Radio app. Just tap on the open mic when you get to the My His Radio app. But like bringing lunch to work, I see a lot of people do that more so than not. Although I have a few friends that go out to lunch every day, and I'm like, how do you do that?
How do you do that? There's no way. Like, there's a salad that I like to get. If I get the salad and a drink, it's almost $15 at a fast food restaurant. Not doing it. So I bring yogurt for breakfast every single day.
She does. She has it there. I mean, she brings her stuff with her, and a lot of people are doing that just to save some cash.
Well, I'm going on a vacation, and my family's asking, hey, bring me back a souvenir, do this, I want this. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. So I am really trying to buckle down and trying to save even more. And I think I'm fairly thrifty anyway.
She is.
So, like, I don't do meal planning at all. And that seems to be something I need to do, like prepare on Sunday for the entire week.
Oh, that's a lot of time.
It is a lot of work. And then,
but those who do it, it really pays off for them.
It really, really does. What I do, though, is like if I'm looking for there's a dress that I'm looking for to take on this vacation. So it is made by a label that is in a couple of different stores and boutiques. So I'll go
She's afraid to say what it is.
No, well.
What is it?
No, it's not really like a known label, but it's at nicer boutiques.
Okay.
And so, because it's just a better quality. And so I've been going to different boutiques around the country, and looking to see if they have it.
Online.
Online.
Okay.
If they have it and they have that, use the code WELCOME25 and save 25%, I'm in. I haven't found that yet. I found welcome 10. 10 does not make me happy.
She's not a tenner.
No, I'm
She's
looking for a
25er. Yes. My wife uses the, am I saying this right? Ibotta? Ibotta. Yeah, that app all the time. She was using it just over the weekend.
Yeah, because it
and
gives
putting
you
in
money
all the
back.
receipts in there because she uses all that stuff so
Yeah.
that things can be brought down a little bit at the grocery store.
Here's how I save some money. I put away a quarter every day. I put it in a big jar. By the end of 5 years, I got some money and I can buy a couple of things. Another way I save money is I just don't spend it. And then if I don't spend it, I'm able to save.
Well, that's a good way that you can save some money.
It is. Yeah. Who was that?
Pardon me?
Who was that?
I have no idea. That's an open mic. They
An
don't give their
open
name.
mic.
Unless
Oh,
they give
okay.
their name, we know who it is.
It just sounded so familiar. But anyway, yes, save a quarter a day.
That's not bad, but a lot of people bring the lunch to work, and here's one thing that some people do is go to the library.
Right? Because
You
you
know?
can get DVDs and books.
If you don't do the streaming services.
Yes. Well, I mean, you have to pay for the streaming services. You go to the library, you get a free card, and then you can, I almost said rent, check out a
Yeah.
DVD.
It seems like it every time you do a DVD, it used to be the rent thing.
It used to, like
Right?
$1 or $2 or something.
And I don't even
but
know if Redbox is around anymore.
I think they're going out of business. I want to say Redbox will be no more.